The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into Delaware Live Sports here from Wilmington at the St. E. Center for the much-anticipated number 1 versus number 2 matchup between the visiting Sal's and the home number 2 ranked St. Elizabeth Vikings. A chilly day here in Delaware. Nick Allison journey alongside Pat Garianis. Nick Halliday here on the camera. Mike Lang is roaming around the baselines. He'll be snapping some photos, and we are in store for what is supposed to be maybe the game of the year during the regular season. Salesianum, St. Elizabeth's number 1 versus number 2, Pat, here in a sold-out St. E. Center. This is going to be a very fun matchup.
Yes, it is, Nick. I'll tell you what, I got the chills walking back in here. It just takes me back in the day for some big-time matchups. St. E. Center. This isn't a small venue, folks, so the fact that this is sold out right now is impressive, and why not with these two teams? St. E's kind of the up-and-start team that kind of popped up onto the scene out of nowhere. Didn't make the tournament last year. They've come out and they're off to a 6-0 start on the season. Impressive victories against Apo and William Penn to their, to their resume. And then Salesianum is the defending state champions. We kind of expected this from them, and they've gotten off to an okay start this season. But they are extremely talented and very tall. It kind of made me feel a little bit insecure, man, because holy crap, the whole team's about 4 inches taller than me and above. So I can't wait for this one. Two extremely, extremely talented teams taking the stage here this afternoon.
Let's start with the defending state champion Sal's here, who, as Pat mentioned, a decent start to their season. As always, they kind of front-load that schedule with a bunch of out-of-state matchups. It's hard to get a grasp for how they're going to, play in Delaware, though it's going to be well. And, of course, off to a 4-4 through the first 8 games, which, for them with the tough schedule that they have is a good record, and that's what has them at the top spot here as we enter week number 3, week number 4 of our winter basketball season. 4 wins, 4 losses. The 4 losses out of state. We talked about the one early, Pat, against Newman Goretti, a 75-73 loss, just a bucket loss there. A tough one against Archbishop Wood on the road, 82-54. That was their worst loss of the season. Yeah. And then College Achievement Public Charter at Cape Henlopen there in the slam dunk to the beach. Just a 3-point loss in a prestigious tournament like that when you're playing some of the top teams in the nation over there at slam dunk. And then we all know DeMatha Catholic. They went up against them as well, 67-60 loss there. So those are the 4 losses. But when you talk about the Sal's, Pat, you have to mention they were in action yesterday. So you kind of hear about those back-to-back stuff going on there in the NBA. Well, the Sal's dealing with a back-to-back here. They're on the backside of a doubleheader. They come back and beat Malvern yesterday. They were down at the half. They come back and get a 64-58 win, and now less than about 12 hours later, they're going to be back in action here against St. Elizabeth. In that game, in the win yesterday, Kareem Thomas, 18 points. R.J. Johnson had 12. Isaiah Hinson, 10. Justin Hines, 11. And Luke Brown, 11 as well. So those guys were the majority leading scorers in yesterday's big-time win, as the Sal still holding on to that top spot in our rankings at 4-4. But for the St. Elizabeth Vikings, Pat, coming in at number 2, they are 6-0 on the season. They played 2 less games than Salesianum, but of course no losses, no blemishes on that resume so far. We had a chance to do the game a couple weeks ago against William Penn. They looked phenomenal in that matchup, and they're coming off a win on Thursday against First State Military. I had to check the score, double-check it maybe a few times there, 59-7 in that win. That shows you how talented this Vikings team is this season.
Yeah, well, and, to the point of the Salesianum schedule, Archbishop Wood may be the top team in the state of Pennsylvania right now. That loss, you may look at that score, but I'm telling you, they are incredibly talented. As for St. E's, they're locked into this Diamond State Conference right now. So, yeah, they're going to have a couple lopsided scores as opposed to Sally's, who can load up their schedule as an independent. So, look, this St. E's team, they're scrappy. They play hard. Aiden Tobiasen has taken the step that we expected him to take and then surpassed it. He's committed to go play at Temple. And then you've got some transfer students over at St. Elizabeth that have really, really helped this team out. Tobias Reese in the starting lineup, the senior guard, as well as Kenneth Hunter, Jr., the junior forward. He has really stepped up. So, and then off the bench, You got guys that have come in here, one being a transfer, Steven Nixon Jr., he's a junior, impressive. And then a freshman, Kyan Alexander, has come out onto the scene. This little point guard, I'm telling you folks, man, he is exceptional. The ball is on a yo-yo. You can't take it from him, and he's shooting extremely efficiently from the three-point line. They've been impressive. Salesianum, the big thing for Sally's is going to be, will they play with energy? That's been the thing for them so far this season. They won it all last year. There's a little bit of level of, hey, we're the Kings, and there's a level of confidence that comes with it. The energy level has been inconsistent from them. If they come out and they play with the energy that that we have come to see from them when they need to turn it on, this is going to be a heck of a battle. If they don't, St. E's is a scrappy bunch. So that's going to be the thing to keep an eye on. Who brings the energy in this one?
Moments away from National Anthem, followed by starting lineups in tip now just around the corner here on Delaware Live Sports. We are going to take a short break here in just a moment. We'll get you starting lineups when we come back. It's National Anthem, and as I mentioned, tip-off coming around the corner. We'll be right back here live on Delaware Live Sports. Number 1, Sally's. Number 2, St. E's. Some Sunday afternoon hoops here on DLS.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
First State Orthopedics statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Alisadrini alongside my partner Pat Garianis. Nick Halliday up in the stands on your camera. It's about that time. We're set for tip-off in number 1 versus number 2. Salesianum and St. Elizabeth. Sally's plays just one game in state so far this season. A win over Appoquinimink. They are 1-0. St. Elizabeth's 6-0 so far this year. And some dominating wins, including that one a few weeks ago here on DLS over William Penn, one of the top 5 teams in the state at that moment in time.
Well, you know what? I don't think you could have gotten a stage set any better than what we just saw. A St. E's student playing the guitar for the national anthem. That was Jimi Hendrix style. Holy smokes.
Got his fired up starting liners for St. E's. Kyan Alexander, the freshman guard. Tobias Reese, Kenneth Hunter, Julius Wright, and Aiden Tobiasen for Sally's. Kareem Thomas, Zach Swartout, Isaiah Hinson, Justin Hines, and Robbie Johnson. We're underway. Sally's with a tip, and R.J. Johnson Almost taking it in for two. Now they'll reset the offense and go right back to the big fella underneath. Left-hand layup off the window and in, and Sally's is on the board first.
I want to see that from RJ, right? He tends to play a little bit out on the perimeter a little bit, doesn't like to get physical. Use your body. You've got the size advantage against the Vikings. If he plays tough down there on the post, it's really going to help the Sals out.
Here's Hunter, crosses over on Johnson, now to the far corner, into the hands of Wright. Here's Tobias in the Temple commit here. 7:26 to go in the first, 2-0 lead for Salesianum. And Pat, the one thing you said I asked you went down the floor earlier, is we have a turnover and a carry out on the perimeter by Hunter. First turnover for St. E's.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic there. Just kind of lost focus a little bit. Ball slipped out.
And now you have this. You got Justin Hines running the show here, bringing the ball up for Salesianum. And you mentioned to me down there, you said what stood out on the floor was how big Salesianum is. They got some big guys, some tall guys down there on the floor.
That they do.
Here's Hines, one-on-one with Tobias, and a good matchup there. We're going to get an offensive foul, I guess, with that off elbow from Justin Hines. A little extension there, going to result in the turnover for Sal's.
It's unnecessary, too. It's just got to be careful out here. Hines, you do not want to get him in foul trouble. Exceptional athlete, can play above the rim. Him versus Tobias is going to be a fun matchup to watch.
He's one of the most athletic guys in the state in Justin Hines. Alexander, top of the key. Tobias going to let a three rip from the right wing. No good. Rebound into the hands of Kareem Thomas. And now here come the Sows quickly the other way. Henson trying to drive inside, and a foul and a whistle. Going to go against Julius Wright. His first, team's first. And it looks like it'll be a shooting foul. So 2 free throws coming up for Isaiah Henson. And we all know that name. What a performance he had down the stretch, especially in his time at the Bob Carpenter Center during that championship run last year. A couple big ISO buckets and big moments as the first free throw, though, off the mark.
Yeah, well, in this opening, 80 seconds or so, I like what I've seen from Sally's. They're being aggressive. They've gotten 2 down-low looks, one for a make and then one to get to the free throw line. They're going to want to play physical and with a lot of energy here. I think that's the key for them.
1-1 from the line for Henson. 3-0 now Sally's. Here's a drive on the baseline, and that's good. Up and in for Julius Wright. St. E's on the board.
He's the spark provider for this Vikings team. He plays 110% nonstop. He can score at all 3 levels.
Quick trigger for Justin Hines, and nothing but net from beyond the arc for Hines. Our first 3-ball of the afternoon, and Sally's up 6-2.
Yeah, nice catch and shoot. I mean, he's another one. I mean, Hines is exceptional. Again, it's just a matter of will he lock in. That's really what it comes down to. That's a big-time hit to start the game off. Another turnover here for St. E's.
Second so far for the Vikings, and now some backcourt pressure here from St. Elizabeth. They get it into the hands of Zach Swartout, a role player last year. Has it picked and stolen, and defense to offense for Aiden Tobiasen.
He's listed at 6'6", but I'm telling you, that wingspan's got to be approaching 7 foot. He got his hands on that. Look at the pressure here.
And they just get it across, able to break it. Thomas now room to fire for 3. In and out, rolls around. How about Zach Swartout skying down the lane for the putback?
Going to need those kind of buckets for Salesianum. Nice work. He had a turnover, made up for it right there with the putback.
Pace picking up a little bit here now. 5:34 and ticking. First quarter action. 8-4 lead for the visiting number 1 ranked Sal's over the number 2 ranked home Vikings. Here's the freshman Alexander trying to beat Swartout. Going to be physical. Left-hand scoop layup won't fall. And then last touch, though, by the Vikings, going to go to the Sal's.
Tough. Everything is tough so far for St. E's. No clean looks. Sally's locking in on the defensive end to start this game off.
Back to the pressure. Go the Vikings. Looks like the Sal's will beat it easily this time. Hines across half court. Almost lost it. We're going to have a whistle and I think an offensive foul or carry.
The carry.
Missed the carry there. So another turnover to third so far here in the opening quarter for Salesianum. Second for Justin Hines.
A little bit of a feeling out process here. Big game, big crowd.
Big crowd, not a seat open in the house. Had to make a few announcements to scoot in. Here's a deep 3, and that's knocked down by Julius Wright, and he's got 2 field goals here in the first quarter for St. E's. 5 points for him.
Yeah, he's the 1A to Tobiasen, and he can provide the energy. That's a big-time 3-pointer right there. Look at that Alexander. He's quick.
Got a hand on it, did the freshman, maybe saving a basket underneath. R.J. Johnson had room to go up with it. Now Sally's will inbound underneath their own basket. Up by 1, 8-7. Now here's Swart out on the dribble handoff. As they'll work it around the perimeter. Hinson, jab step, going to launch a three off the back end of the rim. Hines going over the back, no call, and he's going to put it back in. And Justin Hines, always a threat on the boards.
It is. You know, a little bit of a settle with the three-point shot, but Hines made up for it.
Here's Hunter. How about this? Stepping back for three, nothing but net, and a pretty jump shot. That time for the junior Kenneth Hunter, and he's got a triple. And we talked about the three-point prowess of the St. Elizabeth Vikings team. And already with a few here today, Sally's breaking the pressure. Hines thought about a three. They'll work it to Swart out. He'll let it fly from beyond the arc. No good. Rebound tipped around into the hands of Hunter. And here he goes. Off to the races goes Kenneth Hunter. Drive, kicks, Tobias in for three, and he got it.
They can shoot, Nick. You said they hit 29 threes in their first two games here on the home court. If they're hot, they can get it going. They've already knocked down three here in this first quarter.
They're comfortable so far. Poked out from behind by Hunter. Now numbers for St. E's. Here's Wright crossing over on Hines, taking contact and finishing Julius Wright.
Here's the energy. They will bring it.
Don't blink because R.J. Johnson with a left-hand finger roll, and here turned into a track meet here at the St. E's Center. A quick answer from the Sal's and the junior R.J. Johnson. And we've got a good one so far, 15-12, 3:15 and ticking, as St. E's going to slow it down just a tad.
This is good basketball so far early by both teams here.
Alexander wanted the back door. Good defense from Sally's. Now Tobias, and contested three from the corner. Shorted it into the hands of Thomas.
A little bit off balance.
And he lost the dribble there, able to maintain possession. Here comes Hinson, and he'll settle it down. Hinson taking the freshman Alexander one-on-one. Layup rolled around and falls out.
Don't see him miss many of those, but good mismatch and way to take advantage of it.
How about this? A give and go to himself for Aiden Tobias, and gets it back and finishes it, plus the foul.
And one. How about that? Tobias, and Nick, he's taking the step, folks. This man, the improvement from junior to senior year is unreal. He dominated the summer circuit. He won the MVP at the Czech Rock League, which we know is an extremely prestigious summer league in the area. Obviously committed to Temple, and he has been the unspoken leader of this team, and he has worn that with honor. Good start to the game for him here.
Free throw is good.
Actually, eight
for
points.
Tobiasen.
Uh-oh.
And now a turnover from the Sounds. What a pass up ahead to Tobiasen, and a finger roll through.
Sally's has kind of gotten a little lazy with the basketball here. They started off good. These last few minutes, St. E's has picked up that defensive pressure. They've gotten out in transition, knocked down some threes. Next thing you know, they've built an 8-point lead.
20-12. St. Elizabeth's on top of the visiting Sally's timeout here. Taylor Trevison, check out the crowd.
Yeah,
here on the camera. It is a packed house here at the St. E's Center. 2:18 still to go in the opening quarter. St. Elizabeth's, Pat, they have 20 points, 10 of them coming from number 25, the Temple commit, Aiden Tobias.
Yeah, and they're going to need a big game from them. And, you know, big-time players will step up in big games. This is about as good of a start as you could have asked for Mr. Tobiasen. And he plays on both ends of the court, man. That's really what impresses me. He still plays like the humble guy that we've seen over the course of the last 2-3 seasons. It's just now all of a sudden the skill level has risen substantially. And when you put that combination together, you get, you know, the kind of attention that he has gotten.
I do some work over at iHeart with his cousin, or his uncle, I should say, Kyle McMahon, and he's been telling me about him, you know, for years. We've been watching him for years. He's really taken some steps. Another turnover, and here he goes. This time past to Reese, this time back to the recently checked-in Steven Nixon, and he's got a bucket. And St. Elizabeth's continuing to click on all cylinders here.
It's a high IQ team. They are just a high IQ basketball team. Every single player can handle the ball. Every single player can switch defensively.
Nice backdoor cut for Kareem Thomas, and that'll silence the crowd for a moment. And one for the senior Thomas, his first field goal today, and he'll have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play.
They needed that basket. And Sally, this game was starting to, you know, kind of go a little bit the other way, and good job by Hinson, good step through, great cut by Thomas, and of course a nice finish.
5 turnovers in the opening quarter for Salesianum. You can attribute that to that St. Elizabeth's defense. Three-point play completed for Thomas. And a 22-15 lead now for the Vikings. Now we're seeing that pressure here in the backcourt out of Sally's. And able to get it across. Hunter, one more to Reese. And 1:37 to go here in quarter number one. 22-15 lead. Nixon crosses over, kicks to the corner, leads to a three, short for Wright. And now R.J. Johnson with a rebound. He'll get it and go. Hangs in the air, almost lost it, able to get it over to Thomas. Johnson, Euro stepping, hanging, maybe got away with the travel, gets his own rebound though, battling underneath, no, skying though is Kareem Thomas, and we've seen him do that for a couple years now. He's a rebound threat himself, and he puts it back through.
Yeah, good effort there. Look at his step in three, a little bit of a rush.
Offensive rebound though for Tobias, and second chance here for St. Elizabeth's. Drive, kick, three is up in the corner, another short shot for Wright. Able to get his own rebound, bounce pass perfectly to Tobias, and he couldn't finish. How about a fourth chance? And it's good.
Go gadget arms right there to be able to get that offensive board and put it back. Whoa.
Battling on the boards are St. E's here in the opening quarter. 24-17 lead now. As Hinson eyeing up Nixon, looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. He'll just straight up pull up for three and knocks it through. Isaiah Hinson, a pretty shot from the right wing and a big one. Pat, they've knocked down some big shots to halt some of these St. E's runs.
Yeah. And you're going to have to make them in a big-time game like this. They're equalizers.
Hunter spins, kicks back out to Reese. They make the extra pass to Wright. Good defense, though, on the recovery by Sally's. 8 to shoot now. Here in quarter number one, driving. Kenneth Hunter to the baseline. Defense from Thomas forces a missed shot. Rebound to Johnson. 1 second. They won't get it off, and that'll take us to the close, close of quarter number one. 24-20, a fast-paced, fun opening quarter in our battle of the top two teams here in the 302, and it's the Vikings that lead after one. 24-20. We'll be right back on Delaware Live Sports.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris. I would always pass by.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Alisadri alongside Pat Garianis. Pops back in the house. Checking out some top-ranked basketball. Nick Halliday on the cameras. We are set to begin quarter number two. Number one, Salesianum, your defending state champions, coming in at 4-4, taking on the second-ranked St. Elizabeth Vikings, undefeated at 6-0. Coach Mike Cassidy and Coach Taylor Trevison going at it today. 24-20 lead for the home team, St. E's, as we start the second. It was a big quarter for Tobias.
Absolutely. Some substitutions for Sally's. You're going to see number 10, Luke Brown, as well as number 22, James Lahr, check into the game for the Sows.
Got some size. We talked about
do.
it. Tobiasen, room to fire, and he knocks down another triple. Looked like Sally settled into a little bit of a zone matchup there defensively, and they gave him some room, and he cans another three.
He's up to 15 now, if I'm not mistaken, right, Nick? There's a turnover.
And a turnover for Sally's, number 6, so far here in the first half.
And it's something that they've been plagued with early in this season, Salesianum. Like I said, the focus, the energy can disappear at times. They came out the first 2 or 3 minutes and they had it. They were sharp. Since then, they've kind of lost it a little bit. And against a team like St. Elizabeth, you're not going to be able to do that and get away with it. That's why Sally's trails right now by 7.
Yeah, 2-3 zone look here for the Sows defensively. Nixon trying to dribble through it, can't do it now. Turnover from St. E's. Here come the Sows. Hines, nobody going to stop ball. An easy layup for Justin Hines.
That's a good job by Hines. Like you said, no one stopped ball, Nick. And he took it right to the rack.
Gotten a hand on it that time was James Lahr, the recently checked in senior. And actually, I believe it will result in a turnover.
Yeah, they're going to say that Lahr deflected it off of Hunter.
So back-to-back turnovers on possessions for St. Elizabeth's. So Luke Brown averaging 3.5 points per game, as Pat mentioned, just checking into the ball game for the South. They'll feed Johnson. Hunter went for the steal, and that's going to lead to a layup. No, off the mark for Johnson. Good contested help defense. And now Nixon Jr. going to carry it across for St. Elizabeth.
Got to make those. RJ's got to make those. He's missed a couple layups there.
And oh my goodness, Aiden Tobiasen is on fire. 18 points, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. He's got St. E's with an 8-point lead. Sally's trying to answer. 3 no good, and now picked and stolen by Julius Wright. Wright hanging, going to go up with it, can't finish, going to get his own rebound after it was tipped around. And now Reese going to launch a quick 3. Can't get it to go.
Energy. St. E's right now just beating Sally's to a lot of these loose balls.
Hines turning, fading, short on the jump shot from inside. Rebound to Kenneth Hunter.
Yeah, I think Tobiasen might have got a piece of that fadeaway.
Nixon driving, stepping through. Good defense underneath by Luke Brown. Might have got a piece of that one.
I think he might have, yeah. That height really comes into play. And Brown's every bit is 6'7", 6'8".
18 points for Aiden Tobiasen. He averages 16.3 per game. A foul here out on the floor. Nixon got a hand on Brown. And now those two getting into it.
There's nothing here. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for that. Just playing ball out here. And, yeah, credit to the refs. They didn't tech anybody. They didn't blow any whistle there. Nixon going right back to him.
Sally's the inbound. They get it to Johnson. 30-22 lead. He's going to pull up. Mid-range jumper is pure for R.J. Johnson. He's got 6.
Good step back. They give him the space. He can knock that down.
2-possession ball game. Room to fire for Caleb Harris, and he can't knock down the 3. Definitely capable is the junior guard. Unable to get that one to go. Sally's trying to quickly answer down the other side, and a whistle. And it's going to go against Caden Harris down the baseline for a reach-in foul. St. E's second foul of the quarter.
And Harris, I mean, he's capable of knocking that shot down, but you miss it. You got to get back on defense.
Thomas with the honors to inbound. Back to Johnson they go. Last time he knocked down a mid-range. This time back to Thomas, who pump fake, steps in, gets to the baseline, tried to draw the foul, and he does so successfully as he hung in the air. It's going to go against either Reese or Harris, and it's going to go against the senior Tobias Reese.
Sally's kind of composed themselves again. And now they're starting to try and make a dent into this lead a little bit.
2 of 3 from the line so far tonight for Salesianum. Thomas 1 for 1, and he knocks down the first. 6 turnovers for Sally's. They've kind of kept hold of the ball here to start the second quarter after about 4 first-quarter turnovers. 4 for St. E's. And 3 team fouls for St. E's here in the second quarter as Thomas knocks down both. None so far for Salesianum. As we mentioned a few times, Sally's in action on the road against Malvern yesterday. So back-to-back here potentially for the Sal's as they're taking on a very good St. Elizabeth
team. Then they got Penn on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. So tough 3 games in 4 days for the Sal's.
30-26.
They're going to have a light schedule down the rest of the year, though. That would put them at, 10 games?
Yeah.
Through the first week of January?
Another offensive rebound for St. Elizabeth, and that's been good to the Vikings here in the first half as well. Nixon trying to make him pay, and there's a block by Luke Brown, and then with some words after it, and he's going to get teed up underneath the baseline. So you saw Nixon kind of chipping away at Brown here down the other end, and then Brown comes up with the big block, lets him know about it to kind of answer, and he'll get teed up. And, Pat, as you know, it's always the one that retaliates that gets caught.
Absolutely. Well, I love the emotion. You want to play with that drive. I get that. But you got to rein it in. And his teammates are talking to him now. That's a good job. You just got to rein that in. It's still early in the game.
That just shows you, as Pat mentioned, the emotion, how big this game is for all these student athletes there down on the hardwood today. It's going to be a big one. Sold out crowd, a lot of emotion built up. And sometimes you get stuff like that. And Tobias knocks down the technical free throws, and he's got 20 first half points.
Carrying.
And we are 4.5 minutes still remaining here in the second quarter.
Carrying the Vikings right now. What a start.
So St. E's with possession after the tech. Here's the freshman Alexander. Good defense by Zach. Sword out. Now Nixon to pull it out. Sally's now back to a man-to-man defensively. Julius Wright, a jab step, going to go baseline, hangs, and a foul against Justin Hines. A nice take by Wright, and he earns himself 2 free throws. As Hines now going to pick up, I believe, to be foul number 2 on him.
This kid's a ball player, man. Right. I don't know, where he's going, who's looking at him, but someone better be, because this kid is a basketball player. By the definition, he does everything that you would want. Plays hard all the time, has got the skills, he's got the confidence. A little bit undersized maybe for some of those higher levels, but he is a grinder, man.
He got the scoring started. He had the first couple of field goals today here to get St. E's going offensively, coming in averaging 13 points per game. That's good for second on the team behind Aiden Tobiasen at his 16. And a good first half for those two guys, Tobiasen and Wright. As Tobiasen now, we talked about his 20. Wright, he's got 9. They're doing a majority of the scoring so far here for the Vikings. 34-26 lead now for St. E's. Jab step from Hinson. Sizing up Caden Harris here in the corner. Cross-court pass to Luke Brown. The big fella launches a 3. No good. Rebound to Caden Harris.
It's a good look. I like that draw up. Brown just unable to knock it down, but that was a good set there for Sally's.
8-point lead for the Vikings. Now back in the hands of Tobiasen. He's got 20. Here goes Harris trying to kick it over to the corner to Tobiasen. Hinson got a hand on it, sends it out of play. We'll stay down this end. 3:21 to go here in the first half. Hunter going to come in and check in for Caden Harris. Hunter averaging 10 points per game, has a big triple here today.
Yeah, and I mean, Hunter is just a smart basketball player. Can really shoot the basketball. Fills in as a nice, secondary piece for this Vikings team.
Here he is, top of the key. It's Wright, Hunter, Alexander, Tobiasen, and Nixon. Here's Kenneth Hunter, 3 from the right wing, off the mark. Rebound, though, to Julius Wright. Another second chance for St. E's. Can't result in points that time. Brown now going to try to get into the action underneath, and now it's Johnson who hauls down the rebound, and he's going to be bumped under the basket. I believe it's going to go against Julius Wright.
And it's gonna put RJ on the line, and that's where RJ needs to be. He needs to play to his size, man. Play to your size. Get physical down low. Dominate the boards. Actually, it looks like that was only the 4th
I believe
foul. So apologies. That's what I want to see from the big football player. I know he's a DN, but sometimes you got to act like a D tackle out here.
That's it. You got to be physical. I need a heck of a football season. A member of the state champion Sal's in Class 3A. Here's Brown driving, kicking. Johnson for 3, way off the mark. And now here comes the freshman Alexander turning on the Jets, kicking out. Nixon steps into a mid-range jumper, no good. A rebound battled for underneath, and finally hauled in by Thomas. The second chance opportunities in the offensive rebounding for St. E's has been spectacular here in the first half. Sally's able to haul that one in.
Yeah, well, the height affected the shot too. Brown, nice closeout. Affected that shot from Nixon.
Sword out.
Easily the biggest size that St. E's has played in terms of an opponent this season.
Stops his dribble, cross court to Hinson. Hinson, no hesitation, 3 from the corner, rattles it home. Isaiah Hinson. And now he's got 7. Big 3 ball. We talked about it. Once the lead gets to around 8 to double digits, Sally's comes up with a big bucket, staying within range, and now the lead back to 5 for St. E's. Tobiasen.
Oh, wow.
Gonna launch a deep one, too strong as he tried to put Hinson in a blender there near the top of the key. Couldn't do it, and now a whistle and a foul here once again against St. Elizabeth. This one, I believe, going against Kenneth Hunter, unless they're going to call it against Tobiasen.
I think they're going to call that on Tobiasen. It's going to be 2 shots.
And they will. That's number 2 on Tobiasen. So Tobiasen with 2, Julius Wright with 2 here for St. Elizabeth late time in the second quarter. That would be the 5th team foul on St. E's, as Pat mentioned. So free throws for Zach Swartout. Swartout averaging 6.3 points per game, a real menace on the defensive end of the ball here for Salesianum. Had a great role on that team last year. And he knocks down the first free throw. He's got 3 so far today.
Looks like Reese and Wright check back in for the Vikings. They're going to get Tobiasen on the bench. Don't want him to pick up his 3rd.
Second free throw for Swartout is good, so he knocks down a pair. He's got 4. Now we've got a 1-possession game as Sally's going to apply some pressure. The Vikings beat it into the hands of Wright. Kicks to the corner. Reese thought about a 3. He can hit it. He'll pull it back, though. And now with 1:29 and ticking, Alexander, the freshman, launches a 3. No good. Battle for the rebound, though. Brown gets it, and now up to Hinson. Sally's with a chance to tie or cut into this deficit here.
Way to get on the floor by Brown. That's a walk. Yep.
And that time it was. And we're a fan of the spin move, and we're a advocate for it not being a travel. That time, though, was a travel for Hinson.
Yeah, that one was. Now, he got bumped, which kind of forced him to get off balance. But the official determined maybe that he initiated the contact.
So clock stop, 1:15. They'll bring Tobiasen in now. Are the Vikings back here with those 2 fouls here for the offensive possession? As they lead Sally's 34-31. Hinson went for the steal, doesn't get it, and now the Vikings with a little bit of space here to operate. Nobody steps in on Julius Wright, and he cans a triple. Wow.
That's just the new age game right there. Instead of attacking the defense, you step into a 3.
And it was nothing but net for Julius Wright. Him and Tobiasen are doing the scoring here in this one for St. E's. Trying to answer. Thomas hanging, couldn't finish. And now Tobiasen hauls out the rebound. Here come the Vikings, 3-on-3. Bounce pass underneath to Nixon. Takes some contact. Couldn't get the shot to go, but will earn himself 2 free throws for Steven Nixon Jr.
Vikings just do a really good job of boxing out, crashing the boards, and then they get out in transition, and they know what they're doing. And it's just they're playing mid-season form right now, and it's impressive. They do the little things. They do all the little things.
Tobiasen and Wright have combined for 32 of the 37 St. Elizabeth points here in the first half. Nixon, though, able to knock down a free throw. He's got now 3 with 1 on the way.
We get Tobiasen back off the court. Bring Caden Harris in. Again, don't want him to pick up that foul.
And was effective in the last minute that he was brought back in for, leading to a few buckets for the Vikings. 2 for 2 from the line for Nixon Jr. 39-31. It was just a 3-point game, and just like that, back to an 8-point lead for the Vikings here at home over the top-ranked Sal's and defending state champs. 35 and ticking. Hines beating his defender initially, and a foul before the shot.
He's going to put Hines on the line for 2. That's that new rule in effect now. You have 5 fouls per quarter, and then it's an automatic double bonus. No more 1-and-1.
That's right. And we have the crowd doing showing the 2s as well. They're aware. So free throws coming for Justin Hines, coming into this one, averaging 15.8 points per game. That is a team high as he knocks down the first free throw. He's got 8 so far in this one, more on the way.
He's talented, man. I mean, I've said that for a few years now. He's got the size. He can shoot from the outside. He can play above the rim. Elite defender. Again, the thing with Justin is just, does he play hard all the time? He's been playing hard tonight, today.
And again, when he's been able to stay healthy, again, part of that championship run last year, an important puzzle, or piece of the puzzle, as Nixon, deep 3 for St. Elizabeth, and that's the team they are. Confidence to fire from anywhere on the floor. And Nixon Jr. has his first 3-ball of the afternoon, and a big one for St. E's, lead back to 9.
Oh, what a move by Thomas.
And that
going to go to the line for 2.
Right. Took some contact on the drive.
Nice hesitation move. The foul's starting to pile up for the Vikings. That's the second on Hunter.
Everybody dealing almost with 2 fouls for St. E's. Hunter, Wright, Tobiasen, and Nixon Jr. all with 2 fouls as we wind down the first half here from Wilmington. Free throw for Thomas is good. He's knocked down his free throws today.
And, you know, that's going to be part of the key for Sally's, right? They've started to get a little bit more aggressive going to the rim, and they're capable of doing this all the time. They've got the players that have the advantages. You don't always have to settle for outside shots.
Thomas knocks down another 5 for 5 from the line so far in this one, and half number 1 for Kareem Thomas. So 15 seconds, 42-35, 7-point lead for St. E's as we wind down the first half. Final shot potentially coming here for the Vikings. Nixon Jr. gets in the paint, 8 to shoot. Kick to the corner. That 3 is up. It's long off the mark. And then a whistle and a foul on Swartout as Alexander looks like he might have had the box out there. And then Swartout goes over the top. So that's going to be a whistle against Salesianum.
That's a tough one for Swartout there. I mean, that's just a height advantage. And he's got a little piece of Alexander there. 2 seconds, about 3, actually 2.9. So 3 seconds here for the Vikings to get a shot off.
Let's see what they draw up. To inbound, launching it to Tobiasen, 3 to shoot. 1, Tobiasen pulls up as we head to the half and can't knock down the triple. But a first half that he'll remember as the two teams head to the locker room. 20 first half points for Aiden Tobiasen, 12 for Julius Wright, and St. E's carries a 42-35 7-point lead into the locker room here at the St. E's Center. Pat, what stood out to you there in half number 1?
I mean, again, Julius Wright, he's kind of the energy provider for this team. He hits big shots when he needs to. He can get to the rim. He can get them going. Obviously, Tobiasen stood out as well with his 20 points. But those two guys are carrying the offense, and everyone else is just doing their job. They're taking care of the basketball for the most part. They're doing a great job on the boards against Salesianum. So these guys, they're fitting into their roles and doing it well. On the other side for Sally's, you know, they kind of got a little bit maybe unfocused there for a little bit of part of that game. You had an early lead, kind of got away from you, but I liked how they played those last 3 minutes of the first half. Got themselves within 7. If they could continue to stay focused and use their advantage, they are able to get to the rim and get to the line. If they can do that in the second half, they can get themselves right back into this game. This is as advertised. We're on pace for an 84-70 game, Nick.
It's going to be a fun one. 9 minutes on the clock and ticking here at the half. When we come back, we'll give you first half stats and second half information. And ahead of second half action, 42-35, a 7-point lead for St. E's in our battle of the top 2 teams in the state. Going to be a fun second half coming up here on DLS.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Eggspectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Soto Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Soto Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Soto Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware.
And we are back live from the St. E. Center here in Wilmington, Delaware, the home of the number 2 ranked St. Elizabeth Vikings, who had a heck of a start to this one as they lead the number 1 ranked Salesianum Sows in a battle of the top 2 teams in the state, 42-35, as we are moments away from getting the second half underway. Nick Alisadrini alongside Pat Garianis and Mike Lang playing free safety down on the hardwood. Nick Halliday up on the camera. And Pat, a team that we've seen a few times already this year in St. Elizabeth. They've looked good, 6-0 coming in, the number 2 ranked team. And then Salesianum playing a bunch of out-of-state games, playing some of the toughest teams here on the East Coast. One in-state matchup against Appoquinimink. They get that win, and now these two meet. And it was a very fun first half, and we talked about the energy from the home team Vikings. It's a sold-out crowd, and they came out hot in this one.
They did, and you know they were led there by Aiden Tobias, and star player coming up big, 20 points in the first half to lead the way. He was joined by Julius Wright's 12, and they did. They beat Salesianum up on the rebounds. They were able to knock down, I believe it was 7 threes in that first half as a team. Salesianum started to come together, though, in that second half of the second quarter. They're led by Ethan Hines and Thomas's 9 points. Hinson right behind them with 7, so even distribution over on the Salesianum side. But I mean, strictly energy and hustle is why St. E's has the lead right now. Salesianum, if they can play the way they played the last 3 minutes, they will get themselves right back into this game. They have the talent to neutralize the hustle advantage and benefit that the Vikings have.
And every time it seemed like St. E's got between an 8 and a 12-point lead, Sallies would hit a big shot, bring it back down. So here we are to start the second half, a 7-point lead, 42-35 for St. Elizabeth's. Again, thanks for joining us here on a Sunday afternoon from a sold-out St. E. Center. Tobiason with 20 first-half points, as Pat mentioned. 2 fouls, though, for Nixon Jr., Hunter, Wright, and Tobiason for St. E's. As we are underway, it'll be the Sows controlling it here out of the break. And Hinson going to try to start things off early with a 3. And that one falls short, and air ball's out of bounds.
He hit a couple of those in the first half, 2 of them to be exact. Again, though, I'd like to see them go back to what they were doing the last 3 minutes there when they got to the free throw line so much when they were in the bonus. Try and chip away at this depth of St. E's. They only go about 7-8 deep.
Right, trying to take Isaiah Hinson. Couldn't finish. Good defense by number 11. And now here comes Hines, and now Sword out here on the break. Extra pass to a cutting Kareem Thomas. Good defense from Kenneth Hunter underneath. He might have got a hand on that, saving a bucket.
I think he did, and that was a heck of a block from Hunter.
And not only that, Pat, they get the ball back as well. He must have hit it off a foul. 42-35, still the score. Nixon trying to take Sword out. Kicks out. Here's Tobias, and he's been hot. Can he stay hot? And he's going to be fouled by Hines. That's the 3rd personal foul against Justin Hines. Not what you want to see if you're a Sows fan. And now Tobias is now going to step to the line for 3.
It's a good closeout, but he got him on the hand. Got him on the hand there. And, yeah, 3, it picks up the 3rd foul early. Let's see what Coach Trevison decides to do.
And Tobiason picks up where he left off. Free throw is up and through. Gives him 21 now in the afternoon. And St. E's now lead back to 8. Knocks down the first 2. 8 turnovers for the Sows here so far. Just 4 for St. Elizabeth. So they play with a lot of speed, so impressive with taking care of the ball as well as they are here so far. Playing a good game. 3rd free throw for Tobiason is good. 3 for 3. He's got 23.
Impressive, man. Just an impressive game so far for Aiden Tobiason. Just got to try and stay out of foul trouble.
Hines will stay in the game. Pump fake from Thomas. Easy baseline take for 2 for Kareem Thomas. He's into double digits.
That's the recipe for Salesianum. They got to stay aggressive going to the basket here.
Here's Reese driving. Took a body from Thomas on the baseline. He'll be whistled for the personal foul.
Good first step there from Tobias Reese. He was able to get Thomas on his hip, and Thomas had no choice but to try and push him with the body.
Second, they'll say, against Kareem Thomas. On the inbound, Reese firing in, hitting. Tobias Reese, his first bucket is a triple.
8 threes made already for the Vikings.
Here's Thomas, leading scorer for Sal's with 11. He'll try to answer. That one went in and out. Johnson battling for the rebound, but good job by Hunter and Tobiasen.
Yeah, great box out there from the Vikings, and they've done that all day.
Nixon crossing over on Swartout, trying to take him. Swartout
block.
got a hand on it. Might have been off the chest of Nixon. Nope, it'll stay down here with St. Elizabeth's. Good defense by Swartout.
Very good defense by Swartout, and way to stay down on your feet and wait for the ball to be shown, and he got right on top of it.
Nixon inbound. They'll get it over to Tobiasen. 6:22 and ticking. 11-point lead for the Sows. Hunter pulls up for the mid-range, and off the glass goes Kenneth Hunter Jr.
Banks, I didn't think Banks were open on Sunday, Nick.
I didn't either, but Hunter called it, I'm sure, and then knocked it through. 50-37. Largest lead now for St. E's. Hines wants a 3. It was open, couldn't hit it. Long rebound into the hands of Thomas, who's fouled by Tobias Reese, his second personal. And that'll be the first here of the quarter for the Vikings.
Everybody's got 2 fouls. Nick, everyone. You get a foul. You get a foul.
So Sally's will inbound. It'll be R.J. Johnson. As the South trailing by 13, number 1 ranking on the line. St. E's trying to take that top spot. Johnson, top step into the paint. Now to Zach Swartout, cutting left-hand layup, no good. And then
defense,
stolen
though.
right back.
Yep, he got it right back.
Hines took a shot on the arm, no foul, but an easy 2.
Smart. Attack Tobias, and he's got 2 fouls. Go right to the rim. Again, that's the recipe for Salesian. They got to establish a little bit of aggression going to the basket to open up the outside shot. Oh, bad
Another
pass.
turnover for St. E's, back-to-back turnovers. This time it's Swartout in transition, plus the foul. And now a little momentum shifting towards the Sal's. And a chance to now cut this into this deficit.
High IQ play there from Swartout. He knew that Nixon was going to go up for the block. He crossed right over into him. And a nice layup and 1.
Swartout now.
Third foul on Nixon.
And Swartout again growing into that role now with Sally's. A role player off the bench last year. Was an athletic, maybe defender. Now kind of expanding that offensive game here into a starting role with Salesianum. Third foul against Nixon Jr., as Pat mentioned. Free throw, though, no good. And the three-point play unsuccessful. But they do get the bucket. 50-41, lead now into single digits. But St. E's has been in control from early on. A cutting Hunter, turning around, short on the jumper. And then a collision with Tobiasen and Reese now gives Sal's numbers the other way. Swartout with the left-hand layup, it's good. Timeout on the floor.
Smart timeout there from St. E's. How about Swartout? Great block down here on the defensive end. And in transition there, making some plays, trying to keep Sally's in this one.
It's a good one so far. Timeout on the floor, as we mentioned. Coach Casti going to talk things over. 50-43, a 7-point lead for St. E's with 5:02 remaining here in quarter number 3. Tobiasen had 20 first-half points. He's got 23 now in this one. 3 points for the first couple minutes here of quarter number 3. But what have you seen out of the Sows here to start the second half?
Well, they forced some turnovers, and they've attacked the rim. That's what it comes down to. That was what they did those last 3 minutes of the first half, and they got themselves to the free throw line, stayed within striking distance, and then they've done that here in the third quarter. They've got to stay aggressive. Don't settle for outside shots. You got to play with energy against St. E's. Sally's matches up, if not, matches up with St. E's from a skill level standpoint. They've got to match St. E's energy.
Little pressure here, and there coming over for the block was James Lauro, knocks it out of bounds. So inbound coming from Half court for St. Elizabeth's. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third, 50-43. St. E's with 3 turnovers already here in the third quarter. They had 4 in the entire first half. So that's Sally's defense forcing a few more of those here to start the second. Tobias been the hot hand. Underhand now over to Reese as they're working around the perimeter.
Good defense here from Sally's.
Trevison, coach yelling from the sideline to get on the freshman Alexander. And now Thomas just a tad too aggressive. Alexander lost possession near half court, and then he kind of collapsed over top, going to pick up a reach-in foul.
Well, and it's the size difference between a senior and a freshman got Alexander bumped off. Kareem was good there. He used your length. You had no need to reach there. You pick up the cheapie.
So now that's going to be the second on Thomas. They had 2 on the last one, but it looks like they're going to stick with 2 on the scoreboard. 4:25 and ticking. St. E's with possession up by 7. Tobias threads the needle to right, kicks it back out to Alexander, inside out, and the freshman can't knock the 3 down. And now we're going to have a whistle, and it's going to be on Thomas again. So back-to-back fouls on Kareem Thomas. Puts him at 3 personals, and they're going to keep possession down this side of the floor.
Well, and that's all positioning. Tobias fought for good position, and they're on the offensive end of the ball, and they're boxing out the defenders of Salesianum. I mean, again, that's energy. These guys for St. E's, they do not shut it down. You got to bring your lunch pail against them, and that's what happened. Oh, nice cut. What a find.
Hunter wide open on the block, and easiest bucket of the game so far. He's got 7, and now 52-43 lead.
It's also the 4th team foul against Salesianum, so St. E's is already in the bonus. They're shooting here on out in the quarter.
Over to Lar. Lar gets in, trying the reverse layup. No good, but Johnson takes it right back, and he can't finish either. Swartout now comes up with a steal. Sally's needs points on this possession, and they're going to get it +1.
Energy. There it is. They brought some physicality and answered it. And then, the officials didn't blow the whistle. Keep playing.
First bucket of the day for Luke Brown. It's a big one, and now a chance to add on with a free throw coming for the big fella for Salesianum. 3:42 remaining here in the third quarter, and the lead at 7. A chance to make it 6. We've kind of been right there throughout the ball game. Once St. E's goes on a little run, a big shot comes for the Sal's. There it was that time. The 3-point play is completed.
That's what I want to see more from Salesianum. Play physical, bully a little bit.
Now they're going to try to trap the freshman Alexander, and they're going to force a turnover. 4th turnover of the third quarter for St. E's.
It's good work. Alexander got to keep his head up. This is a big challenge for the freshman.
And you can see Coach Trevison and Salesianum, they want to take advantage of that, trying to trap him there early, right as he got past half court.
Smart.
They forced the turnover. Now Sal's back on the offensive here. Here's Henson, down by 6, driving, floating, couldn't get it, but a second chance. How about another one? Nope. Rebound tipped around, hauled in by Wright.
Henson, good drive. Thought he might have got contacted on the first shot. Wow, nothing. And that'll be 2 shots for Wright.
And Wright lost possessions. I think that's what the officials saw initially. The ball was lost. It was a loose ball. And as he went for it, Brown went up, and then once he regained possession, he took contact. That's definitely a foul.
There's a lot of physicality out here right now.
And Trevison unhappy with the call. And Coach Trevison coming off a state championship last year.
I think we have a new over for Taylor Trevison's jacket staying on.
It is.
He usually loses it early on. Here we are. We're past the midway point of the third quarter. He's still got that thing intact, and it's hot in here.
It's hot in here. We've said that it is a packed house. So 2 free throws coming on the 5th foul, and it's knocked through. That's going to be the 3rd foul against Zach Swartout. Just something to pay attention to for Salesianum.
This has been fun. I mean, this has been as advertised so far, Nick.
It
Both
certainly
teams playing
has.
at a high level.
2 for 2 from the line for Julius Wright. He's got 14 now in the game. 8-point lead for the Vikings. Swartout trying to get downhill, and he does so. Nobody stopped him. And Zach Swartout with a big dribble drive for 2.
I think Salesianum may have figured some stuff out. And you see them way more aggressive to the rim here in the third quarter. And that's what they need.
Tobiasen to Hunter. Good passing, but got a hand on it was James Lahr. Knocked it out of bounds. Will stay down this end.
Good look, but good defense.
Swartout had 4 points in the first half. He's got 6 here in the second half. Averages 6 a game. He's got 10. And he's had a big third quarter for Salesianum. Sainey's up by 6. It'll be right to inbound. Trying to get around Swartout. He's got 3 fouls. Harris, fresh into the ball game now for the Vikings, gives it up to Tobiasen. And a little aggressive there that time for sure was James Lahr, who went around the body and got a hand on it.
Wright's talking. I mean, he baited it. He baited Lahr into that foul. He had the positioning. He knew he was going to come over the top. Just good body positioning there. Again, Wright, I really like his game, man. I really like his game.
And definitely, I mean, you can't argue with that call. It was a blatant foul there from Lahr trying to go over the top. And now more free throws coming for Julius Wright. And he's fresh off a trip to the stripe last time around where he knocked down both of them. And right back to the line he goes. First free throw for Julius Wright is up and through. 15 now for the senior forward as he's listed as a forward here for the Vikings.
Hines checking back in with the 3 fouls. He's going to have to be careful on the defensive side of the ball here in the final 2:19 of the quarter.
So Swartout and Hines both into the ball game here for Sally's with 3 fouls apiece. Kareem Thomas has, I believe, 3 as well. 2 or 3. So everybody picking up some fouls here in this one a little bit later on, but the free throw's good. 4 in a row from the line for Julius Wright on back-to-back possessions, and now an 8-point lead. Here comes the trap. Sally's going to have to get it past half court. Brown going to do it.
Oh.
Gets it to Swartout, who now going to be trapped in the corner. Good defense. Gets it away to Thomas. Good look from Swartout. Thomas straight up and draws the foul. So some things to unpack here first. Pat was Luke Brown there on the far side there at half court. Maybe got a, it's hard to tell, but a Euro step almost to get the ball past half court as he did release it in the air. What did you see on that one?
Well, nothing was called, and good work there from Salesianum, breaking the pressure. Traps coming from all over the place, and good work from Kareem Thomas underneath the basket, taking the contact. Again, that's the recipe for Sally's.
And misses his first free throw of the afternoon. There is Kareem Thomas. Third foul on Kenneth Hunter. 2 minutes still to go here in the third quarter.
Robert Price, another freshman for St. Elizabeth, will check in, number 12.
First time we'll see him today.
It's the 3rd foul on Hunter.
So second free throw for Thomas, no good, and he missed them both.
Wow, rare.
And Sally's, I believe, had made every free throw up to that point. So 2 misses on the trip there for Thomas, 56-48.
Little zone look here, Nick, from Sally's.
See how the Vikings attack it. Tobiasen draws a collapse, kicks it now to Wright. Harris back up top to Tobiasen, 1:40 to go here in quarter number 3.
Good work here from St. E's.
And that one blocked by Luke Brown. Now Sally's in transition. The big fella gets it back. Can he finish it off? I think it was blocked by Caden Harris.
They called a foul. They got him. They got Harris, and there was contact. I like it. Well done. Good all-around play. Nice work by Brown, attacking the rim hard, going for the dunk. Good work by Harris, going with it. A tough contest. That's good basketball right there. That's good basketball.
I thought for a second Luke Brown was going to bring the house down. The big fella had room to go. He did a great job blocking the shot and then getting out in transition, running the floor. But what a defensive play by Harris just to get the foul off. Yeah, that's good. You'll take that if you're St. Elizabeth, but now 2 free throws coming up.
Well, it's nothing easy. Force them to make the free throws.
And knocks down the first. 4 points now for Brown. Another one on the way for number 10 in blue. Hunter going to check back into the ball game with those 3 fouls. The freshman Price comes out. In comes Steven Nixon Jr. Harris, after that foul, will head to the bench.
This is fun, Nick. It's a fun atmosphere, man. This is some good ball being played.
Yeah, again, could be our game of the year potentially. Knocks it down. 5 points on the afternoon for Luke Brown, and now a 6-point lead. 2-possession ball game here for St. E's.
Well, Sally's there's 3.
Nobody got back on defense, and that left Julius right open for 3.
That's a huge shot, man. I was going to say, Sally's keeps getting down within 5 or 6, and then St. E's, it keeps answering.
Just a little slow getting back on defense there. Hinson trying to answer. Can't do it. Rebound to Hunter. Here comes St. E's once again, up by 9, right.
Smart.
Dribbles back, got Hinson, baited him into that one. Now it's going to be a goaltend. No, they're going to call it a foul. If that's the case, might be an and 1. Though they didn't call the goaltend, so can't go back and call it now. But it will be a foul, and free throws coming up, and we're seeing that energy from St. Elizabeth.
They will play hard the entire game, and if you don't match it, they will keep the foot on the gas pedal the entire time. And it's led by this guy, and this dude at the line is just nothing but hard play all the time.
And he's done it from the line here in the second half. He's 5 for 5 from the stripe. Another one on the line, or another one upcoming, excuse me. 12 points in the first half. And now 9 points in the second half. Under a minute to go in the third. An 11-point lead for St. E's. Swartout's been effective on the drive. Can't get that one to go.
He lost it. Well, good hustle there by Brown.
Brown comes away with it. Keeps possession for the Sows. Euroing is Kareem Thomas. And he'll be fouled. Now, who's the foul going to go on? The big question here.
It looks like they call it on Tobiasen. So is that 4?
That'll be 3. He stayed out of foul trouble here in the third. Fortunately, 4 would have been an issue for St. E's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it'll be just number 3. And now free throws for Thomas, who was 5 for 5 before his last trip. Missed the last 2. We'll get back on track there.
Johnson coming in to get Hines. Do not want to pick up his 4th. That's who had 3.
So it's Brown, Hinson, Swartout, Thomas, and Johnson for Salesianum. Alexander, Reese, Harris, Julius Wright. And the freshman Price back into the game for the Vikings. 61-52 after the free throw from Thomas.
And Kareem, he found the form there. Well done.
Pressure from the Sows here with 25 to go in the third. They break it right, driving, kicking. The freshman Price, can he get on the score sheet? He knocks down a big corner 3.
Huge. And those are the buckets you need from guys like Price, who aren't going to get many minutes, but he just contributed.
Hinson to answer, driving, floating, and gets it through.
3 seconds. Harris going to have to get this one up.
Driving, goes coast to coast. No call, whistle sounds. And that'll do it for the end of quarter number 3. Another fun one as we're heading to the fourth. 64-54. St. E's up by 10 here at home over the top-ranked and defending state champion Sows. Coming down to the wire. We're heading to the fourth quarter. Live from the St. E's Center. We'll be right back on Delaware Live Sports.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports. Nick Alisadrini, Pat Garianis, and Nick Halliday. 64-54. St. E's out in front of Sally's in our battle of number 1 versus number 2. This is our game of the week, brought to you by First Aid Orthopedics, is our official game of the week sponsor. First Aid Ortho has over 46 physicians and 22 physicians at 16 locations, which provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions and are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. They serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues.
They're trying to get the crowd controlled. Go ahead.
Again, I'm sorry to pause there. I thought we had a big announcement there to something was going on, but that is it. Just trying to. This is a sold-out crowd. People are just trying to find seats, so just trying to put butts in the seats, literally here at the St. E's Center. Their doctors are readily available to all the emergency departments, medical aid, urgent care centers, you name it. Consultations, treatments. Give them a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit firstaidortho.com. They are truly just have been so helpful over the years, First Aid Ortho, and again, sponsoring events, the youth sports here in Delaware, high school sports in Delaware, University of Delaware. First Aid Ortho just does so much for all the sports here in the First Aid, and we're thrilled to have them as our Game of the Week sponsor, and they're going to be happy because this is a good one here today between St. Elizabeth's and Salesianum. So a special shout out to our Game of the Week sponsor, First Aid Orthopedics. So here we go, Pat, heading to the fourth quarter, 64-54, St. E's up by 10. They've been in control throughout. They've got to hold on. What do they need to do? What do the Sounds got to do to get back into this one here ahead of the inbound?
St. E's just needs to take care of the basketball. Value possessions. Take your time. As much as we need one, we don't have a shot clock here in the state of Delaware. So value the basketball. And if you're Sally's, you're going to have to ramp up the pressure a little bit. You got to pick the energy up right now. You need stops.
And here we go. We're underway. Clock is ticking. Just 1 quarter of play to separate and determine our winner here. Tobiasen has it. Going up over Swartout, showing off the height, and he's going to be fouled. Now, if it's against Swartout, it's number 4. If it's against Hines, it's number 4. If it's against Laurel, the Sows catch a break. Let's see who it goes against.
It should be on Swartout. Yep.
And it is. That's number 4.
I'll tell you, just great work there by the Vikings getting the mismatch. They got the switch, Swartout on Tobiasen. He used his body to get positioning, and Swartout was he was fighting for his life underneath there. He really was. That's just good high IQ ball to find the mismatch and get it to the player.
That free throw is good for Tobiasen. Lead to 11, and now 24 points. Make it 25 for Aiden Tobiasen. The senior Temple commit with a big game here, has the Vikings up by 12. Sal's looking to get something going offensively. Here's Hinson one-on-one with Reese. Don't give it up. Good defense by Tobias Reese, and they're going to get him with the offensive foul. That off-pen on the extension.
It did, and it kind of benefits Sally's because it prevents a fast break layup for Nixon.
That's true. Yeah, you don't see that too often there, but
that's a frustration foul there from Hinson. And you can see, there's some frustration amongst the Salesianum players. Offensively, they kind of got they were stagnant on that possession.
And the first turnover in some time here in the second half for Salesianum. Third total of the second half. They turned it over 10 times in the ball game. It's been St. E's that got off to a little bit of a shaky start with 4 turnovers in that third quarter, but they have been level-headed and just steady throughout this ball game. Really no light-up points here as Tobiasen hanging, using that length, but can't finish. Hinson with the rebound, lofting it up, and gets it into the hand. Tip to Thomas. Nice touch pass from Hines to R.J. Johnson, and too strong, but luckily Hines is there to put it back for Salesianum.
It's been a tough game for R.J. down low. He's missed a lot of layups for this team today.
That was a potential top 10 play nominee on the touch pass from Hines. 10-point ball game. Wright stuck in the lane. Gets rid of it. Nixon thought about it. Here for St. E, 6:35 and ticking. Tobiasen, he didn't think. He'll fire, and he knocks it through. Aiden Tobiasen, his 4th triple of the afternoon.
That's a tough shot. One dribble, got the feet set, pull up, and buried it, man.
Hines fade away off of 1 foot, looking like Dirk Nowitzki. Knocks it down from the free throw line. And a timeout on the floor. as Hines starting to get it going a little bit here for Salesianum, but still it's been all St. E's. They still have a double-digit lead, 69-58, 6:18 to go. Pat Aiden Tobias in 20 first-half points. He's now got 28 with that 3-ball a few moments ago.
Yeah, I mean, that was a Division I play. All right, you want to know why the young man's going to Temple? It's plays like that. He can dribble, pull up 3 from well beyond the arc and knock it down nothing but net. He can post up the smaller player, catch the ball in the middle of the lane. He could jump through the gym. He's got the, I mean, it's
the length. I mean, he really put it all together. And we talked about it. We saw him as a young player, a freshman and a sophomore, years ago for St. Elizabeth's. I'm sure
he was just
not
a catch
on the
and shoot
team.
Guy. That's all he was.
But again, aware of that 2018 state championship that's hanging up on the banner there. I think he was an 8th grader that year, or maybe a freshman if I got my
well, that was 6 years.
Right?
We're in
6
the
years
COVID
ago.
years. Yeah, we, not the 7th-year seniors like we got in college right now.
Maybe more than that. You can go through all of that 7 or 8 years, and then you can declare for the draft.
Super Scion senior or something, man.
It's
It's insane what's going on there. It's a good time out there from Sally's. They need stops. That's really what this comes down. They're going to have to lock in on the defensive side of the ball.
And it's firepower from St. E's. Here they go, trying to trap up top. Tobias now has it. Room to fire. Kicks it to the corner. Tobias Reese. He's open. That one rolling around and out. And then Tobiasen battling with the big fella Luke Brown. And he forces another chance, another opportunity for the Vikings down this end of the floor. But now the official's going to get together, converse.
Yeah, they're going to keep it.
I mean, he had it here. And that's all Tobiasen.
The baseline ref had the better angle to it. He should have had the clear look, and they switched it. Hey,
that's a tough call. It was close from where we were sitting.
It did look close.
Couldn't tell.
Sally's needs a bucket here.
Still down
Where do they go?
Digits.
That's really what this comes down to. Is it Hines? Is it Thomas?
And last year in these spots, it was Hinson, especially in the playoffs. He's struggling a little bit today.
Yeah, he's on the bench right now.
And R.J. Johnson needs to get it going. And once again has a perfect layup attempt. No one there, just too strong off the glass. And now they're going to talk about it again. It's a controversial call on which way the ball's going to be going.
They switched it.
And it'll go back to St. E's. But we talked about R.J. Johnson. He doesn't miss shots like that too much, and he has a couple of them here in this ballgame.
Yeah, it's rare. It's rare to see it. He's got to lock in, though. He's still got, 5.5 minutes to go.
A lot of basketball left.
It's a foul.
And a whistle on Thomas, and that's going to be number 4.
Yep. That's just good body positioning by Tobiasen. I mean, he's got him on his hip, and you're going to have to try and go through him in order to get the ball. He's so long. St. E's they are so high IQ all over the court with this rotation. It's very hard to knock into deficits if they're knocking down shots like they have been.
Tobiasen calling for an ISO. Here he goes. Beats Thomas, drives, kicks, open 3 for Tobias Reese. Couldn't get it to fall. Rebound to the big fella Brown.
Good rebound.
Sword out, driving with 4 fouls, spinning. That left hand got away from him, and that's all to the defense of Aiden Tobiasen. Using that length to contest that shot.
That would have been a tough finish for Sword out there over the length of Tobiasen, like you said.
And again, Sally's a little bit rushing on that offensive possession.
Yeah, well, you're starting to see it now. I mean, we're getting later in the game. Yeah. They haven't been able to chip away. This is where the discipline of your offense needs to come in. You got to get good looks for your key guys. There seems to be a lot of ISO going on right now on the Salesianum side.
Johnson switches on to Tobiasen. Got a hand on it. Good job from Tobiasen, though, to box out and let the ball go out of play so they can retain possession here. 4:49, St. E's up by 11. So Thomas and Sword out with 4 fouls, but we are, getting into crunch time now as Sword out will head to the bench. So here's Nixon Jr., 4-4-4 and ticking.
This is where all 5 players being able to handle the basketball gives an advantage to St. Elizabeth.
Right, driving into the big arms of Brown, gets it back and floats it over the big man.
Wow. What a job. Again, I really am impressed with Julius Wright as well. I mean, what a Robin to Tobiasen's Batman. There's a travel.
Tried to step through 2 defenders, did Hines. Got an extra step in there. And a turnover for Salesianum. And now they're 5th of the second
And the body
half.
language is starting to sag here in the fourth quarter from Sally's, man. This is not the time to have that.
Not a very fluid game offensively for the Sal's, but that's been that St. Elizabeth's defense with that length, that versatility, and that speed.
And the energy. I mean, they just play hard. They play hard the entire time.
Nixon underneath.
Wow.
My goodness, Stephen Nixon Jr. scooping it up with the left hand. And St. E's extending this lead to 15.
Yeah, you hit Tobias Reese on the ticky-tack foul there. Holy smokes. That was an impressive finger roll.
And you kind of can see it. These guys all feed off of each other. When they get something going, other guys scores. They can ride that momentum. Everybody in that starting five kind of positionless, as you talked about, Pat. Tobiasen is their tallest player, kind of plays maybe the center role, not a typical center, and he brings the ball up.
Yeah, no, everyone can handle the basketball, and no one's scared to have it in big moments for St. E's.
You're right about that. The confidence. You can see it.
There's a good set. And they missed the shot, but, like, they need to get going with that kind of play.
Hines, that one rims out. These shots just not falling for Sally's. Nixon Jr., 3-on-2 for St. E's in the lane, floats it up and through. And the Vikings are clicking on all cylinders. Answer quickly down the other way for R.J. Johnson. His first bucket of the second half. He's got 8. So we'll stay here, 3:25 and ticking. St. E's still leading by 15, and Sally's won the tip. Hines took it in for 2, but ever since that point, it's been all St. Elizabeth.
It has. I mean, they've played their best game of the year when they've needed to play their best game of the year. Again, the IQ of this team is just, it's not something you're used to seeing this early in a season. All 8 players in this rotation come in, they know their roles, they accept their roles, they're all playing for each other, and they play hard the entire game. And that is rare. That is rare to see a team this talented play this way. We've seen teams that are talented, but to see teams this talented that have no egos, they buy into their role, and they play for each other and play hard for a full 32 minutes, that's rare, man. You don't see it very often.
I know.
There's a lot of season left, but it's an impressive start through 7 games here for the Vikings.
You took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I know it's relatively early in the season, but the chemistry, undeniable here from St. Elizabeth. And, you know, people like to get theirs and create their own shots, look good for the scouts, etc. These guys make the extra pass. Almost every time who's ever got the best look, they're going to get the shot, and that's how they've been so far this season, on the way to 7-0 potentially with 3.5 to go here today. We talked about Sally's, and we'll talk about them here with 3.5 minutes still remaining, you know, with this game. So a lot still left to happen, but Sally's going to be a team down the stretch regardless of what happens here in this outcome. Just another teaching moment potentially here for Taylor Trevison, who we know is going to have those guys playing their best basketball come playoff time.
Well, their talent's undeniable, and it's going to win them a lot of games this season down the stretch.
There's going to be a kick ball.
But right now, the difference in this game, St. E's has played a full 29 minutes so far, hard. Sally's has had spurts, and Sally's has missed a lot of makeable shots too for them.
That is
That's
absolutely
uncharacteristic
in the
of them.
paint as well.
Yeah.
And I will say, you know, Sally's can hit the 3 ball. Haven't taken too many threes in this ball game. St. Elizabeth has knocked down double digits.
Yeah.
So that also a difference there. Here's Julius Wright. He has 23 points. Him and Tobiasen, 23 and 28 for those two guys, 51 combined.
It's just a smart ball right here from St. E's. And again, not turning the basketball over. There's, as I speak, they get one.
Turnover there as Brown got a hand on it. Leads to Swart out on the outlet.
Sally's needs a few more of those. They got to ramp it up, man. Look at Tobiasen down the lane. Oh, wow.
Almost got that one to go. That would have been something, but does take some contact on the way down. So some free throws coming up for 25 in White.
That looks like they call it on the floor, Nick.
Oh,
They call it on
there
the
we
floor.
go. No shot. 5th foul against Zach
You see
Swart
the
out.
body language. Is
And that'll
walking
do it
onto the court,
for the fella
walking
there.
to position. Like, this is something we didn't see from Sally's last year. They played pretty energetic, especially down the stretch.
Yes, they did. Swart out, fouls out with 12 points. Here's a cutting Kenneth Hunter. Pretty basketball. Good defense by Johnson to go straight up, though, and force the miss. Hines fouled out on the perimeter on the drive. Would have been a take foul in the NBA.
Yeah, well, in St. E's, you know, you got some fouls to give here. You can play aggressive these last
Absolutely right.
this last 2:45 with a 13-point lead.
3 guys in double figures for St. Elizabeth. We talked about 28 for Tobiasen, 23 for Wright, and 11 for Stephen Nixon Jr., who's had himself a good game as well. Handoff to Kareem Thomas. He picks up 2 more. He's got 15 now.
Go. This is what Sally's needs. They force a turnover. Oh, but they give it right back.
And then a foul in the backcourt, so they give you a little glimpse of hope there. That second there, they force a turnover, looking for back-to-back possession or buckets in a matter of seconds, but unable to get that one to go. And again, just the struggles from Salesianum.
Now 2 shots caused the foul. Coach Cassidy pulling his team over there and telling them, fellas, this is not the time to lose our focus and get sloppy, turning the basketball over, giving them extra possessions. And that's a good message.
Lead at 11, and a chance to increase it, as well as his score total, is the senior Julius Wright. Knocks down another. And don't go anywhere after the conclusion of this one. We'll have our post-game interview presented by our Game of the Week sponsor, First State Orthopedics. 2 for 2 from the line, 25 points for Julius Wright.
I mean, he's impressive, man. He's another one. He's taken the jump, too. Him and Tobiasen, both those returners, have taken a big step forward.
Thomas on the baseline, creating some space, knocks down the jumper.
Oh, there's a turnover. Tell you what, Sally's, this is what they've needed to do the entire second half, in my opinion. They're desperate, but they got this team. You play desperate the entire game, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Still some time left. 2 minutes to go. Hines off a screen. Got to get it. Got to go though. He's going to fade away from the baseline. Knock down a jump shot. 8 second-half points for Justin Hines, and he's got 17 now to lead the way for Salesianum.
He's got to work some clock. There's a good timeout here by Coach Mike Cassidy. Regroup with his team here. Again, hey, you're in the double bonus from here on out. Take care of the basketball. Understand you're going to get a lot of pressure from the Salesianum defense. You just got to take care of the basketball, take some time off the clock, and when you get a layup, take the layup.
So back into single digits, though, a single-digit deficit for Salesianum now as they kind of crawled back in. St. E's has led by as many as 15. And led by the 2 seniors. Tobiasen, 28 points, 25 for Julius Wright. You look over now for Salesianum, 17 for Justin Hines, and 17 for Kareem Thomas. So Ward out, fouls out with 12, and those are your leading scorers for their respective teams.
And Sally's right now, you got to try and find a way to set up a trap. And St. E's is going to play headsy and try and avoid going into a trap, but if they can get themselves a quick turnover out in transition, continue to try and put pressure on the Vikings to close this thing out.
So out of the timeout here, it's going to be Hines, Thomas, Brown, Johnson, and Hinson. For St. E's will be Nixon Jr., Hunter, Tobiasen, Julius Wright, and Tobias Reese. So here we go. 9-point lead, St. E's with possession, 1:46 to go. And they'll get it to Tobiasen and look to chew up some clock.
Good work.
Right, free down the baseline. Good contact or defense by Brown. And then throwing it away. And turnovers have been crucial tonight for Salesianum. They have some bright spots. It looks like they could have, something in transition, but throw it away.
Yeah, and that was an opportunity. That's what they wanted. Good work by Brown to go straight up and down there and not pick up the foul on that layup attempt.
Now St. E's with possession, 1.5 minutes to go, up by 9. Just got to be careful with the basketball. Tobiasen gets inside, taken away from R.J. Johnson. Johnson, Euro stepping. Can he finish? He does this time.
And
10
again,
points.
Where was this energy from Sally's for the majority of the game? This is what they needed. Nice finish from Tobiasen.
Tobiasen trying to make sure this one does not slip away.
That was a big bucket right there. That was a big bucket.
30 points for Aiden Tobiasen. Hines underneath, contact and couldn't finish. And again, these are shots that Sally's put in around the basket, especially Justin Hines, but he does take contact there. 2 free throws coming up for the senior.
It looked like he went up for the dunk, and I don't know who contested it and then picked up the foul. I think it was Tobiasen. He got a piece of the ball there.
Tobiasen now with 30 for the Vikings, and the free throw off the mark for Hines. So some uncharacteristic things for Sally's in this one, but St. E's has played a phenomenal basketball game, and they've, again, if they're able to hold on here, 53 seconds, they earned this big win at home. And potentially that top spot, I guess you could say without doubt, that top spot come next week's or tomorrow's Delaware Live Sports Rankings. They'll get it in, and now Sally's going to wrap up and see if they can get some missed free throws here from St. Elizabeth. We'll walk the floor with 51.5 seconds.
Wright has been very good from the foul line today. Hard to believe it, but this Vikings program did not qualify for the state tournament last year. And here they are.
I mean, talk about
some nice additions, and here they are trying to knock off the defending champions.
Now, if you were in, a lot of season left, but if they're able to stay on this trajectory, it would be, maybe we don't celebrate Coach of the Year awards, but it would be a heck of a coaching job by Coach Cassidy and what he's been able to do here at St. Elizabeth's. Now on the way to a 7-0 start here
we're not
in 23-24.
done yet, Nick. Still got some time
on
left,
the way,
bud.
I said on the way.
Yep, there's 2 missed.
And there's the miss, and here we go. Sally's with a chance. Here comes Thomas, going to need a big bucket. Splits some defense, hanging. Finger roll is short, but there's Justin Hines, going to put it back up and through. Timeout, Coach Trevison.
Still some time here.
There it is.
If there's anything that you could criticize St. E's for, it's been maybe this last 2 minutes here. Not taking care of the basketball and characteristically missing some free throws. But again, I mean, this is what you look at this film. If you're Salesianum, I would go directly to these last 2-3 minutes here, after they trailed by as many as 17, and how their energy has picked up. They started playing desperate, and if they can encapsulate what they've done here in the last 2 minutes of this half, and put that across 32 minutes. They could see themselves right back into the mix again.
And missed a bunch of makeable shots in this ball game, in and around the basket. Both teams, though, unofficially with 13 turnovers apiece. So what are the odds of that here so far in this ball game? 42.5 seconds to go, and you blink of an eye, a 2-possession, 6-point lead. So here we go out of the timeout. 42.5. A lot of basketball left here as St. E's trying to hold on. They've led almost wire to wire here at home. So St. E's to inbound up by 6. Going to go for maybe a quick steal, but going to foul.
Nice
and they're able to break it.
Really nice work there.
They get it to Nixon Jr. So the junior will head to the free throw line. 11 points. Third on the team in scoring in this matchup here today. Third foul will go against Luke Brown. And now free throws coming. And a big make. That time for Nixon Jr.
Pushes this to a 3-possession game.
And for any football fans out there, the Jaguars go down to the Tennessee Titans today. Freeing up if you're a Steelers fan. Maybe they could get in the playoffs there. Front end, no good. And how about Aiden Tobiasen tips it out and creates a second chance.
They took a while to start the clock.
And how about that? Doing it on the score sheet, but again, the little things. And Aiden Tobiasen on the missed free throw.
Yeah.
Tips it out to his own team, creating another opportunity, another chance to add on points, and more importantly, chewing up at least a little more clock as well.
Well, they didn't start the clock, so, there's probably about 3 seconds there where that clock did not run.
And that's the home clock, too.
Yep.
You don't see that too often.
You don't.
You're the home clock, you let it go a few more seconds, but not there. And the free throw, though, I believe was up and through that time for Julius Wright, who continues to add on to his point total. He's been great from the free throw line today. And continues. 27 now for Julius Wright. Sally's has to answer quickly. Thomas down the other side. Coast to coast he goes.
And a timeout. Coach Travison, not quite sure how many he's got left.
Jacket still on with 30 seconds to go. 82-75. St. E's will again looking to hold on to this victory. And ever since that first basket, they've led wire to wire. They've been spectacular. But Sally is forcing some turnovers late, converting on some baskets, some and one attempts here, and not out of this one just yet.
Learning moment here for Sally's, man. I hope that it kind of kickstarts them, you know, to learn. And hey, we got to pick against these top teams, man. We're going to have to pick our energy up the entire time, especially against St. E's. I mean, they just this group just plays hard. Like I said, it's just rare to see a team this talented play this hard for 32 minutes. You just don't see it often.
And again, very few mistakes, you know, in totality today in this game for St. Elizabeth. Again, a few turnovers here as of late, but took care of the basketball. And some of those shots that, you know, they take early in the shot clock when they have a little bit of space. Again, they're so talented around, you know, throughout that starting five. They can take those shots. They make those shots. Just a team that can hit from all over the floor. A lot of firepower offensively. And then we see that energy. When you have a team as skilled and talented offensively as they do and then play with the energy defensively that they do, they're going to be a hard out.
They play as hard as the 2018 state championship team, but I think they got more firepower than that team did.
And I agree with you. And again, that team, Justin Money and company, I believe part of that team was fun to watch. And again, a beautiful run in 2018 for the state championship as more free throws coming for Kenneth Hunter Jr. as St. E's trying to put this one on ice. But not a lot of the crowd, you know, leaving yet, all staying put for the finish and the conclusion here of this battle of top two teams. Hunter in and out. You see, you know, maybe a little bit of the free throws here for St. E's. Maybe working it down in practice tomorrow just to tighten it up. So, Pat, we're about 30 seconds away. We'll have our First Day Orthopedics player of the game as Hunter knocks that one down. He's got 8. Johnson, once again, missing one from inside. Ball tipped around, and Wright going to pull it out and fouled. And that should all about do it. As Wright going to head to the free throw line. So, Pat, 27 for Julius Wright, 30 for Aiden Tobiasen.
That's a toss-up.
I almost want
to interview both of them.
Honestly, right? Player of the game going to make it tough on us. Phenomenal performances. Those two combined for 57.
And maybe more.
And excuse me, I spoke too soon. You are absolutely correct. And maybe more. Misses the front end. Or excuse me, no front end, misses the first, I should say. Well, what a game. It's been fun for us. I know that. A heck of a crowd here at the St. E. Center. Sold out crowd. Took me a while to find some parking as Julius Wright knocks down that free throw to give him 28. 15 seconds and ticking. Thomas driving with that left. Can't get it to go. Once again, Johnson is there. His putback this time is through. He's got 12.
There's a delayed game. I don't know if this will be a warning against RJ or if they'll. Yeah, it's just a warning.
So St. E's just to inbound. That should do it. And the number 2 Vikings.
What a statement.
Looking to improve, and they will, to 7-0 on the season. And they take that top spot here in Delaware from the defending state champion Sal's with an 84-77 win here at the St. E's Center. Pat, phenomenal performance by the Vikings.
Yeah, without a doubt. That was impressive. You can't help but be impressed by the Vikings. And I mean, just well done, just absolutely well done on both sides of the ball and the whole nine. I can't help but be impressed with what the Vikings did here today.
And there's few areas. We've done a few of their games now, and there's rarely a time in the game where you see them take a possession off or go through a drought of not scoring or not forcing a turnover. They seem to be even keel throughout the game. They keep that same energy throughout the game, and they once again lit it up here at home with a final of 84-77. And again, what a performance from St. Elizabeth's, and we're going to now be joined by our First State Ortho player of the game, a 30-piece.
We're going to get both Tobias and Wright over here because they both deserve it, honestly.
Absolutely. I'm going to take one headphone off here. And what's up, man? Congratulations, Aiden Tobias, on a big win here. And we'll welcome in Julius Wright as well. We'll get these guys. He's going to do it. Aiden, we'll talk to you first here. Just incredible energy. I'm sure you've been hearing about it all week. Sold-out crowd here at home at the St. E's Center. Just walk us through your guys' emotions or mindset coming into this one. Number 1 versus number 2, sold-out crowd. Just walk us through that locker room and what you guys were kind of thinking about heading in.
Was the mindset. Is it on? It's good.
Yeah, you're good to go. Go ahead.
The mindset coming in this game was like, no matter who we play, we're just gonna go out there, be dogs, and kill. And that's what we did today. And we stayed positive. Like last year, our first game, we stayed positive, and we went out and executed our game plan.
Absolutely. The physicality jumps out, honestly, Aiden. You guys came out from the jump. I mean, was that part of the goal? Was it, hey, we're gonna punch these guys in the mouth and see how they respond?
Yeah, I think this is the biggest team in the state. So our game plan was, no matter our height, we're gonna come out and be physical and impose our will.
At 20 points in the first half, I mean, you had it all going. Talk about what was working for you. I mean, did you kind of feel it in warm-ups, or was that just as the game progressed?
I feel like the game comes to me and I just execute what comes to me, man, and together and give her our all, and we're unselfish and on fire today, so that's all.
And so tell us a little bit about this team, right? Last year, a tough spot in the regular season, unable to make that into the playoffs. Here you guys are 7-0, now taking over that top spot. What is it about this group of guys that you guys have this year that you guys can make a run now?
We're unselfish. We don't care who scores the most points, who scores the ball, and we just go out there. We're all dogs. We represent that in practice, and we impose it well. We're all dogs, and we all play together. That's all.
Aiden Tobiasen, a 30-piece tonight in the big win here over Salesianum. Congratulations, Aiden. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to Julius right here in a second. But thank you so much, Aiden. Congrats on the win, baby.
Big win for these guys, man.
Now we welcome in Julius Wright, and we just talked to your teammate Aiden. He had 30. You were right there with 28. You guys put on a show today, not only offensively but defensively. What was working for you guys as a team? They got that early basket off the tip, but then you guys went wire to wire almost after that. Tell us about this win for you guys.
I would say our game plan downstairs, we had to stop Reem, and we had to stop our key Isaiah Henson. So we had to make sure we get rebounds because they had some big players, and our big game is shooting three-pointers and then getting to the basket. So that was our game plan.
Absolutely. You're the kind of the junkyard dog of this group, man,
Yeah.
and your team kind of feeds off your energy, it feels like. Did you feel like, you guys maybe had an energy advantage over them coming into this one at all?
Yeah, because I feel like they was going to come in they were going to come in with a lot of energy, and we have to match it, because if we didn't match it, they were going to run us out the gym, and we didn't want that.
Absolutely, and you've got. We talked about this at the Viking Invitational. Your ability to score at all three levels is really, really impressive. Talk a little bit about what you had working today. Obviously, 28 points, and you scored in a multitude of different ways.
I had my shot was perfect. My shot was going, and then I feel like when I was driving, they was fouling me in my free throws, and just basically just driving and getting my shot open.
All right, well, hey, you're 7-0 now. You just took down not only the runner-up for the state last year in William Penn, but now you just took down the state champs. Your guys are going to be in the spotlight now.
Yeah.
You welcome in that challenge.
Yeah, I feel like now that we're 7-0 and we just beat Sally's and we beat Penn and Apple, I feel like everybody's going to want to come and beat us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're going to take over the top spot in the rankings come tomorrow morning. Walk us through this crowd, though. Sold-out crowd. Had to make a few announcements to get people in the seats. There were so many people. There weren't even enough seats to fill them all.
Yeah.
What was it like, with the anticipation of that game, knowing it was going to be a sold-out crowd, and then coming out here on the floor with this type of environment? How was that for you guys?
When we came out and we seen the whole crowd right here, we had to make sure that we win because we're home, and we had to make sure that we get our rebounds, get our shots up, get back, and box out.
You got it.
That's the big thing. You guys really dominated a taller team on the boards. Talk about the mentality that you guys got, because you guys seem to. I said it to Nick.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, as talented as you are, it's rare to see a team play hard for 32 minutes. You guys play the entire game full of energy. I mean, talk a little bit about what goes in the mindset, how you guys continue to go out there and pour it all out, even though you're one of the most talented teams in the state.
Just like you said, now we know that everybody is going to try to come for us because we're the number one, probably going to be the number one seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we have practice, we do our defensive slides, we do our box out drills. All of it is about being physical. If we can't be physical, they're going to run us out the gym and they're going to get rebounds.
There you have it. An unbelievable performance. Julius Wright,
Thank
28 points.
Thank you.
And they get a win over the top-ranked Sal's. Congratulations. You guys will be top of those rankings come tomorrow morning. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
That's it.
Julius Wright, thank you, sir. A phenomenal performance, Pat. What a job by St. Elizabeth's. Can't really poke too many holes in what we saw out of them today.
Yeah.
Almost a flawless performance. 7-0. They'll take over the top spot. Let's put a bow on it all. What stood out to you today in the battle of the top two teams?
Again, there's one thing that stands out for me. It's the talent that they have matched with the energy that they bring.
It's rare.
A lot of teams you see when they're this good, right, and they have this, and they know they're good. It tends to be kind of spurts in terms of energy. The guys don't play hard because, it's not cool to play hard. I hate to say it, but
right.
I mean, everyone who's played the sport knows that. The good players tend to have potentially lapses in energy. This group doesn't have that. Every single player that comes in, they play hard the entire time that they're in. There's no egos, which is rare. You see a team this talented, usually there's one guy who demands the ball, and if he's not getting his way, he pouts.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that.
No.
This is it's a special group from that standpoint. Look, we've seen teams that are scrappy and play hard, but maybe they're not as talented as some other teams. They've got that rare combination of talent, especially with the two guys that we talked to today kind of heading that, and then role players that will buy it, that have bought into their roles, and they just play hard, man. And it's rare to see, Nick. What we're watching with this group so far through 7 games is rare. Hopefully for them, they could continue that throughout the rest of the year, and it'll be interesting to follow this team as the season goes on.
It certainly will be. What a performance from the St. E Vikings here at home in a battle of the top two teams in the state. They take down defending champion and number 1 ranked Salesianum. So there will be a new number 1 come tomorrow morning. It will be the St. Elizabeth Vikings. Big win for them here today. Tobias and Wright combined for 58 points. Wow. For Nick Alessandrini, Pat Garianis, Nick Halliday, and the rest of the crew here on Delaware Live Sports, Vikings beat the Sows. We'll see you next week on DLS.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most